We always try to look for something which is better, which is a little beyond the reach, and that is what always and always inspires us. The Himalaya always attracted humankind not only for religion, prayer, meditation, but also to look into what it is, how it was formed, what the geological strata there is. With the Association of Petroleum Geologists have been venturing into Spiti, looking for the possibilities of trying to find out the energy sources. There we get to see the different elements of the petroleum system, be it the source rock, the reservoir, the cap rocks, and the subsequent tectonics and the effect of the tectonics on the sedimentary succession.
Particularly if I talk about the history of this Spiti Basin, which is one of the geologist's paradise. Out of 5 major extinction events in the Earth's history which has occurred, we have been able to mark 4 major extinction events in this region.
This isn't just about the geologists, but all the explorers for oil and gas. They typically look at the structures in the subsurface, the different types of rock types, which they try and infer from a variety of geophysical data, indirect data. But a lot of them are really not exposed to the variety of these kind of things which are out there, exposed on the surface. It really helps them to get their interpretation right.
Workshop is basically an introduction to stratigraphy sedimentology as well as a structure in the Spiti Valley. So the participants who have come here, they have come from different work centers from different companies, and they're just given an idea about what the tectonics here are, how the sedimentary pattern is, how the structure is, basically a geological layout of the entire area. They are being familiarized to that.
This one is a Kunjumla formation. Then you have what?
There's a path one.
Yes, that is, you are seeing overlying, that is Thango formation, which is your red color sandstone. Thango is dominated by our sandstone, shale and limestone. The topmost part of this Thango is a limestone. Overlying Thango, Takchai, is our one disconformity there, which you cannot be easily see from this distance. Then overlying is the Muth formation, and overlying this Muth quartzite is our first limestone band, which we call as Lipak formation. Life is also different. The dominance of the trilobites, which were present in the Cambrian, they are less in Ordovician. There it is dominated by brachiopods, calcareous algae, bryozoa, and some lamellibranchs. Overlain in the Silurian, we are getting again some of these calcareous algae as well as some brachiopods and lamellibranchs. Few gastropods. And Devonian, it is mostly devoid of fossils, but we are getting some race fossils, ichnofossils, and some fluidization pipes in it. Then where is mostly orthoquartzite. It's an orthoquartzite. It is not metamorphosed.
The footwall of this particular thrust is already folded. So naturally, we understand from common sense is that this particular structuration should have predated that particular thrusting event. And look at the folds on the top. You see those vertical beds underlain by almost horizontal beds. That is another plane of deformation. So multiple thrusting events all accommodated, condensed within a single unit, single section here.
This is the boundary. Here we have the black shales. Then we have this heterogeneous layer. Then this is the limestone over it. Some of the amino acids are there. That gives me that we are in the basal part of Triassic. The 3 basins are there. Same Triassic sequence, same formations is available in Zanskar region. Same is in the Kashmir Basin, and same Triassic is in Urdu. But this heterogeneous layer is not preserved in neither in Kashmir nor in Zanskar. At the bottom, we are getting Zoophycus. At the top, we are getting some lamellibranchs. These are important markers for marking the early, middle, and late Permian stages in this region or any part of the world. Comparing this section with that of the Athargu road section, we found that they are more or less the same, except the variation is there in the thickness. The ferruginous layer again here is only a centimeter thick.
So as far as the petroleum geology goes, the petroleum potential of Spiti Valley goes, the Gungri Shale as the source, and the overlying sequence within the Triassics of Lelang can be an excellent source and reservoir as well as a seal. It has absolutely good potential to be a viable petroleum system. And Gungri Shale, by the way, is a Permian shale. And around the world, you may have noticed that the Permian shales across the world, whether in the US or in Australia or in Canada, they have actually been mined as oil shale. So Permian shales world over have a huge proven potential as a source species. This is exactly at the Khyber town. So this particular structure is a classical example of a fault bend fold. It is all within the Triassic limestones.
That is your flat, and then this is a ramp. Okay, so this forms the footwall of your thrusts. Right. Now, when you have a convergence from this side, that is from this side, your sequences will move. You can see it is moving parallel to your ramp. Then it will be moving there, and it will be ending up here. So that is, you can see there is a bend upwards, and then there is a bend downward. Now the thrust continues. This will continue further up. And what happens to balance this? You will have two faults here. So you can see those two faults. One is there, and the other is there. Okay. So this is how the things happen here. Overall, you have a fault bend sequence like this. Lagudarsi group. It is the youngest in the Spiti sequence. Okay, so if you expect it to be a syncline Orion, Spiti syncline, what do you expect the youngest to be? At the core of the syncline. So we are at present at the core of the syncline here.
I'll really request all of you to please first orient yourself. Take a minute, draw what you're observing in your notebooks, come up with an absolutely independent observation of the tectonics, the structure of this particular area.
ये लेयर और ये लेयर पे थोड़ा हुआ हुआ, but ये वाला आपका अब क्या होगा?
Gentle dip cascade.
यहाँ से इसका डिप बहुत कम है.
मोटिजम जो बेडिंग के वहाँ पे हो, मतलब वो नियर बची गई.
Based on our understanding so far, we think that the Spiti River follows a major strikes dip fault. So this is a transpressional zone. That's what we believe it is. This is a kind of pop-up structure that we believe is there. Along this edge, the displaced block is sliding up. There it is a gentler, not that strong a fault zone. Here it appears to be more, riding up kind of a element. See the bed dipping down?
In the forthcoming trips also, we are planning geology with the ecotourism or ecosystem study, environmental study, which will lead to the sustainable extraction of energy, which is the primary force which drives the economies of the world around.